Yeah, I seem to be live. Lit. Very, very cool. So, today's my birthday. 42. um, and yeah, my birthday present to myself is I'm going to start dev streaming. Something I've always theoretically wanted to do. But I was like, well, you know, I don't want to have my camera on, and I do a lot of development in bed. I'm currently in bed at an Airbnb in LA with my family. And yeah, I started using Claude Code, and I thought it might be cool to dev stream the real experience of a veteran engineer who's deep into using Claude Code in a production-ish environment. Uh, all the shit that's working, shit that's not working, and yeah, just some accountability for myself and this project. So, what am I doing this morning? Well, this morning I am fixing a deep logical issue in the netcode. So, this is like my general. Let me figure out how to share. Okay, copy to clipboard. And then, how might I get this on my phone? How do I find, yeah. No. Okay. Pink. Copying this. Alright. So, yeah, what I'm working on is a very deep netcode bug. So one of the values of bloop is that, the 5 years that I spent making a netcode game using rollback, I'm just trying to take all that knowledge, package it up into something open source that anyone can use. And rollback is beautiful when it works, but it's very finicky. You need absolutely perfect synchronization. And so what we're fixing is that currently, if you start recording in the middle of a network session, so this is what a network session looks like. You have one Mario jumping, this other Mario jumping. Doesn't seem like a huge deal, but this actually works already over WebRTC, on a phone, whatever. And it's rewinding, you can see some of these stats. I still have to fix how this looks, but you can see that this advantage means that the one peer is behind the other, and all of this under the hood is pretty complicated. But what this is also saving tapes. So if I save the tape of this session from the point of view of the person on the right, then what I can do is go here, and now it's going to replay exactly what they saw all the way through. Nope, network tapes are broken. Okay, that's good to know. Alright, well, that's a fun bug for today. But yeah, what we're fixing is this. If a tape starts in the middle of a session with unconfirmed inputs, network tapes are broken because I'm on a branch. That makes sense. Then, this is my flow, is I write all of these tests by hand. So this is me telling Claude from a user perspective. If I write game code that looks like this, and then I manipulate the simulation in order to find edge cases like this, and the test failure it's very helpful for the LLM to have like a binary signal of whether what it's doing is working. Otherwise, it gets kind of lost in the sauce. Like it doesn't have a good way of doing what most engineers do, which is like test their work, unless you provide it with that. So like if you give it a way to test its work, it's going to keep iterating around the code until it finds something that works. And so what we were doing was planning. So it gave me a couple plans about how it might be able to fix this. And the first one was like, okay, we'll take the confirmed snapshot and we will store a confirm frame in the tape itself. And I was like, well, that's the wrong responsibility. And we eventually got down to like, as long as we have the confirmed snapshot, we can derive the confirmed frame, both when we're recording to tape and when we're replaying. So now it's given me a plan that looks pretty good. It's like, it's going to do these moves, just changing to use and it, gives me the relevant code that it's going to write so I can sort of pre-review stuff. If the input buffer length. Okay, so it's still, this one I haven't quite figured out. It's still trying to do like backwards compatibility, like this v3 snapshots thing. It's still trying to do that, even though in my in the Claude.md over here, I'm like, fuck backwards compatibility. This is a pre-release library, so breaking changes, do not worry about backwards compatibility. I guess it's just like a human. If you give it a ton of instructions, it's gonna forget some of the instructions, so I'm not too mad about that. But yeah, we're gonna have it get to work, and let's go Claude. So this is kind of my flow, is I spend a lot of iteration time on the plan, and then once it gives me a plan that I like, I just do the fast forward, like just accept all the edits, do all the moves that you need to do. And then in the meantime, I do some, usually like visual work or like little CSS tweaks and stuff. In playing the game, okay, there's some sort of, oh yeah. So this is a bug where if the game is idle for too long, then the WebRTC connection isn't doing anything, and then it gets to the max rollback thing. So that's like a different bug. I try not to do too many code bug things while Claude is working, because it's only going to be a short amount of time until I'm going to review its work. So usually what I'll do is some sort of like aesthetic thing, like this block, for instance. Oh, I should probably pull up by Muno, which is the inspiration for this demo. So looking at these, I mean, this is pretty close to what we got, except the green Mario. We could run a little shader to make the Mario color different, but I think maybe the easiest thing to do would be just to draw these bricks. So let's get the Mario sprites, Mario 1 sprite sheet. Okay, we just want 1 1. Sure, I just need to see the freaking, nope. I just need, no, get out of here, Ryan Reynolds. Alright. This is like so fucking jank. Okay, what if I just download this? Okay, lit. Great. So I am a bad artist, and I'm at the stage of making art where okay, here's one where I'm just copying, just fully copying what I'm seeing this is like, yeah, okay, so that's 1 pixel. This should be like 16. Yeah, great. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to give myself permission to be a bad artist. 16 by 16. And I think copying is really valuable. I had the Mario palette somewhere. There's like the color picker thing. Pink. Oh, yes. Pink. Okay. Copy that. We're just gonna replace like this one. I don't really know what this little exclamation mark is about, but whatever. Sure. Okay. Yeah, I'm confused by the Sprite palette thing. I would love to just like change it out, but I don't know how. Let's see where Claude is at. Claude is working. Oh, interesting. Yeah. It doesn't have the input buffer data. Man. Okay, actually, I don't think this is correct. So, actually, I think we should be able to use the prediction snapshot, use the current snapshot, and reference the confirm frame from the confirmed snapshot. You see issues with doing it that way. So this is like a data issue. Let's pull up a little Excalibur. So there's like, you have the game is just a bunch of frames of simulation state, and rollback is like you have inputs that are coming in. So let's say you have like a 3-frame delay. That means that the inputs from the other player are going to be coming in 3 frames later. And so what rollback is like on this frame where I finally get the inputs from frame 0, let's say. So 0, 1, 2. So on my frame 2, I'm going to get the inputs from player 1 for frame 0. And what rollback is it says on frame 2, how do I get a little curvy boy? On frame 2, nope, that's not how you do a curve, huh? Yeah, there we go, that's what I wanted. On frame 2, we're gonna roll back to frame, nope. Let's see, 5. This arrow type? No. Dink. Okay, whatever. You get it. We're going to roll back to 0, then apply the inputs, then go to 1, then go to 2. And so there's two kind of data things that are relevant. Oh. Okay. During rollback. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Sync net context. When we restore, confirm snapshot, and resimulate, time.frame is set to why is session.confirmed frame a thing? No. Neither of those. Why are there two? Okay. I thought session.confirmed frame was in match frame space. And okay, so like the root issue is that there's this really annoying part of the AI generated code. Boy. Yeah. So before the tick, we're updating the match frame when really there's like a classic off by one error. So we don't necessarily have to fix that now, but just put it as a side quest right now. So, oh no, it's already on there. Kill. Okay, it kind of keeps coming up, so I'm just gonna leave a note up here. Syncnet CTX and make match frame the same. Or match frame. Better. I'm not gonna understand what that means later. Okay. Yeah, I see. So when we're running the network tape, we have like we have a confirmed snapshot and a prediction frame. So in the example above, the confirm would be like 0 and the prediction would be 2. For the local tapes, it's easy. You just take the latest frame as the snapshot, restore that, and then move forward. But in this case, we need to restore the confirmed snapshot but we need the input buffer data from frame 2, but I guess I didn't think that does the snapshot restore also modify the input buffer? Question mark. If we have a confirm snapshot in the networked tape, when replaying, couldn't we restore the confirm snapshot and then roll forward to the current prediction frame? I see the issue. I see. We would need to store the current frame somewhere else if we did that. Is that right? So we're just getting right into it with the least sexy thing I could possibly stream, which is like a deep netcode bug that requires like a long explanation. It's fine. If I'm streaming every day, some days are going to be fun and some days are going to be not fun. Okay. Let's see. Snapshot restore can modify the what? Okay. So the snapshot contains an input buffer at the time of the snapshot. Store the confirmed snapshot in the tape. Store the prediction frame in the tape header. Yeah. Does the tape header currently contain any indication of the current frame? Yeah. Okay. Couldn't we use tape header dot start frame tape sig to instead of storing the current prediction frame separately? Roll forward would rebuild the input buffer state. Yeah, I see. I don't know how I feel about this API that's happening, because it feels like, I guess this is one case of exactly where we do not want to restore. Oh yeah, we would need this for okay, yeah, that does make sense. We need this for the regular rollback case where it's like when you're live, yes. Start frame, confirmed absolute frame. Ah, I see. I see. Derive the prediction frame from the input buffer. Snapshot data. So Restore the confirmed snapshot at the start frame. Calculate the prediction frame. Roll forward from the start frame to the prediction frame. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, so actually this... Interesting. This would be the confirm frame. What? You got shit? Okay. I'm kidding. This would be the confirm frame. And yeah. This would be the confirm frame. And hold on one sec. And the okay, one sec. Tape header.start frame set from snapshot.time.frame. Interesting. So since we already have snapshot.time.frame with the confirmed snapshot, couldn't we set start frame to the current prediction frame when starting recording if we are in a session? Get into texts. Get into text. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. So what does VCR.start recording take right now? Start recording takes a snapshot. Yeah, that makes sense. Engine.load tape, roll forward to header.start frame. Yes, that makes total sense. Alright, this is a surprising thing that I didn't realize. Yeah. That's fine. We might want a bigger comment on that, but that's fine. Yeah.
When will you be actually streaming so don't bother you?
Fairly soon. When's your call?
Yeah, and then I'll be in here at 10:30.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any.
I can just do a quick one till 10:30. Okay.
I just don't want to ruin your flow.
It's okay. Self.session.active. Self.confirm snapshot. Okay. God, I hate session.active. Get out of here, session.active. Okay. Kill session.active. Because it's like this other, it's a duplicate field. This happens a lot with the LLMs. They're like, they forget about what already exists. And then you end up with multiple data sources. So I'm kind of backing my way out of that right now. Okay. Otherwise, yeah, that makes sense. Don't love the null at the... Okay. Actually, could we always pass... Actually, instead of doing the override, can we pass the frame as the second argument for both cases and use that as the source of truth? Yeah, definitely better to pass it explicitly both times. Okay. Yes. Yeah. That seems good. Oh. But would the frame count be... Yeah, this seems better. In the tape header for mid-session recordings. Why? Why would we need that? Isn't match frame. Doesn't rollback happen in match frame space? I don't know what happens when you send a message while it's already working. Actually, I have no idea. makes sense. Okay. Okay. Sure. We update all these. Tests. Tests. Are all these tests needed? Maybe not. Unit tests always been of debatable value to me. Integration tests, super valuable. Unit tests in the testing pyramid, I don't know. Especially early on, it's like meh. Oh, parameter shadowing. Don't really love that in Zig. Like, if I want to shadow the parameter, just let me shadow the fucking parameter. You know? Maybe I'll start calling it shadow. Or I guess the right pattern is to, I don't know, Zig shadowing best practices. Yeah, allow reader. Yeah, totally. Okay. Yeah. Okay, what do people... Duplicate of rejected proposal. Fucking Andrew RK. This guy. It's really functional parameters. Okay. So I guess the move would be to just set the outer scope stuff. I'm just gonna accept edits here. Set the outer scope stuff to like this tape start frame. The issue is that there's something called start frame in the... Huh? What is the issue? Oh. Pub fun start frame. That's a little annoying. So I can't use the same name as start frame arg maybe? I don't fucking know. Just sitting here waiting for this shit. Okay. Yeah. So what we're talking about now is in the case that I start recording So there's, as much as we try not to have two different scenarios, or let's just look at it as like a long timeline. You know, you'd have some sort of matchmaking phase, and then you have, you know, some sort of session start. Think, and then you'd have gameplay, rollback gameplay, and then you have you know, session end. And you'd also have, you know, session end. We'll go to potentially session start. And then you're, you know, this is like your loop. With King of the Hat, the way it worked is that recording would start on session start every time. So this is why I wasn't really thinking about this when I was designing this. Currently, bloop will work if you start recording here, anywhere in here, to anywhere, like, you can record at this boundary, which is how the recording in Mario rollback stuff worked. But the problem is, if you try to record in the middle of gameplay, because of what we were looking at before, where here we need two confirmed, like we actually need the snapshot from frame 0 in the tape, but we need some data from frame 2, like the inputs for each player. That's why this bug exists, and that's what we're fixing right now. And yeah, there's some failing tests. So this is the value of the failing tests. Is, you know, if it's just reading the Zig code, it thinks it's done here, you know, wherever it is. Zig test passed. So if I didn't have the integration tests, it would have said, hey, we're done. I did it all. I'm the best. Because I have the integration test, it says, okay, let me run the integration test. And then it's like, all right, well, this is not actually working. Let's find out why. So, oh, maybe because it didn't build the WASM. Yeah, so we're just going to let it roll with this for a little while. There's definitely a possibility that I asked it to do something that has a bug in it. But we're going to find out whether that's the case at some point. So, yeah. So this is what we're working on now. Oh, you know what I can do? I can go back to drawing my little brick. That's what I can do while we're waiting. So, I want to draw, oh, not that, where's preview? Yeah, this is what I want to draw. And we gotta grab that color and put that in here. It's funny when you're working with an LLM and then you do manual work and you're like, man, I am so slow at doing anything. Okay, so I have black, I have that color. Okay, 3 colors. Great. So let's start with a nice big line up here. That's good. Then it looks like the bricks are like 3 pixels, I think. That one's smaller than the other one. 2 pixels there. Is that transparent? What's going on? Okay, yeah, okay, it's this one. Okay, and then that's just 1 fucking pixel. I'm always so amazed at the, it's the other thing, as like a kid who played these games. There's so much economy of artistry here, and I just respect it, Like, to make this repeating pattern kind of blows my mind. Someone who can't really do art. So you just draw a brick kind of like that. Like that, maybe. Does that look right? That looks right. I think. No. No. Where's my fucking... Here. Just give me another... There we go. There we go. Now we got them side by side. It's gonna be so easy. Dink dink. Then we have a black line. Dink dink. Let's see what's going on over here. What was the issue? Ugh, you did what we talked about not doing. Sigh. Okay. Well, it's gonna get it passing, but not, yeah. It gets it passing, and then it's like, we're good. We're done. We're not done, my guy. We are not done. Okay. So, yeah, let's look at the code changes. Okay. That's nice. That's good. Do we need this? Let's see. Or let's ask the dev while they still remember what they did before they disappear. Do we still need get min confirmed frame? Input buffer. Great. This we definitely wanted to get rid of. Okay, so start recording is a big mess, and we're definitely going to want to clean that up. Self.session.confirmed frame. Shouldn't we set this, or just kill this? Shouldn't we be setting that to the one that we have? Couldn't we now use the snapshot frame number since it's a confirm frame snapshot? So yeah, again, it's really just like dealing with a human. There's enough information in the context now that it naturally is going to kind of forget about some of this stuff. And honestly, part of the value is like, when you're it's kind of like when you're pair programming and you're not writing the code. You have enough time to think that you can like anticipate the next issue. Yes. Yeah, that is what we want to do. Great. So for a little bit, I was doing like code reviews on GitHub and then linking the pull request to a new agent, but I found that the new agent would often, while it was good for it to get a new perspective, it would often like forget critical details and there was a lot of like churn. So now what I do is I just review it locally and I ask the questions like as they come up rather than going through the whole thing. Yeah. This. Yeah. Sure. No difference. Also, we're gonna want to go into root.zig and remove, just throw an error if there's any of these other issues. Yeah, get rid of that. Great. Okay, 67 pass. That's great. And 2 skip, no fails. Lit. Hello to my one viewer. Welcome to the stream. This is infinitely more viewers than I thought I would have on my first stream, so, you know, happy birthday to me. Doing the most fun thing I could possibly do on a stream, which is reviewing a deep code bug, super deep in the netcode stuff. But I drew a little explainer, and I'm also making art while I'm waiting for Claude to do stuff. Okay, so we're reviewing this. Yeah. I think actually maybe this is the time to nitpick about, well, no. What we really want to do, yes. Okay, that being deleted is good. This one, this is fine. A bunch of unit test changes, the start frame in there. You know what? Yeah, this is going to bother me later. Okay. Small nit, can we make the argument order start frame and then snapshot in VCR tape root start recording. Claude is doing pretty good. Claude's doing fine, I would say. It probably asks you that after a certain amount of time. Like, it doesn't seem like my tone would indicate that it's doing bad. You know what I really wish they would do is, like, I can't let go of my human urge to, like, say goodbye and thanks at the end of the thing, but I'm like, it feels stupid to, like, use tokens on that. And I feel like that would be useful info for them. Like, I'm in this every day. I have, like, 4 or 5 chats with Claude every day. And some of them I'm like, all right, goodbye. You didn't do what I wanted you to do. And some of them I'm like, goodbye, Claude. Thank you so much. I love working with you. And it'd be nice to just, like, have, if you say bye, thanks, whatever, like, it thinks for a while. Although I wonder if maybe what it's doing is it's just thinking, when it says it's thinking, it's just like sending analytics to the back end of like, I did a good job here. Because it feels like that would be valuable. All right, let's take a look at this start recording mess that it has created and figure out how to back our way out of that. Start recording. Okay. This is not where it is. Where... t.pre tapes.init. Maybe it's in root. Start recording. Yeah. So this stuff. Okay. So this is this problem we're talking about where we need, there's an input buffer here. Wait, why wouldn't we just, okay, restore the snapshot. I see. Okay, that's actually a little bit clever, but we don't like clever. We like dumb so that we can read it later. Oh, hell yeah. Happy birthday to me from my #1 commenter. Thank you. I finally saw your comment. I really need to hook it up so that I see those when they happen. I have no idea what the timestamp on this is. But when you have no followers, it's important to respond to any engagement immediately. But yes, thank you. Happy birthday to me. Nothing I'd rather be doing with my time than knee deep in like 40 code files streaming to one person, to my bestie. It's it feels good. It's good. Okay, so start recording. If we're in an active session, okay. This is actually pretty clever what it did. What it's saying is, wait a second. Yeah, current snapshot is this. Deinit at the end. So we do have a confirmed snapshot. Why wouldn't we just... I don't understand. Why wouldn't... Okay. For this block, 426, is there a way to like easily copy the line number? Copy... maybe that? Great. Thank you. For this... oh, nope. Don't want that. Let's see. For start recording in root zig. Why wouldn't it work to... okay, the confirmed game state, current input buffer state. Take a fresh snapshot. Why wouldn't it work to just restore? Oh, I see. So coupling the input buffer to the snapshot maybe was a bad idea. I mean, we definitely don't want to be doing an extra, like, we're doing 1, 2, 3 extra restores and 1 extra snapshot. It feels like what we could do. I see. Okay. Does a snapshot have like a, let me just ask here. For start recording, can we avoid extra snapshots and restores? These could be expensive if the game state is large. Let's seems like if we have the current input buffer data and the confirmed snapshot, we should be able to stitch these together in memory as the serialized snapshot for the tape. Is that true? Question mark. So one thing I noticed is, like, if I give the LLM, if I'm like, hey, isn't this thing wrong? Like, I think we should do this. It goes, you're totally right. I'm going to do this, even if I'm wrong. But if I end it with a question, I'm like, is that true? Am I right? Then it's like, yeah, then I can trust its response more. Yeah. Stitching in the input buffer. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a little gnarly. It's a little unsafe. But you know what? We have an integration test that's going to catch it if it starts to fail. Okay. Input buffer len. Get the snapshot size. Okay. Create a new snapshot. Couldn't we do it all in memory? Like clone the current confirm snapshot with a mem copy and then overwrite the input buffer bytes? Because it doesn't seem like we should have to do this part. Yeah, so this is often, like, I would say the amount of time spent developing with an LLM is like the part that they show you on most, you know, on Twitter or whatever, is like this first 80% or whatever, where it's like, you know, give it a big prompt, you know, like refactor my unconfirmed input rollback buffer, and then they show maybe the plan iteration, and then just like fast forward, you know, 2 minutes later, boom, it works. But like that really is probably 20% of the time, and then the 80% is getting a slow ass human involved to review line by line to make sure that it's not adding some technical debt, because the LLM is actually better than me at not adding technical debt, but it's worse than me at not adding technical debt over time. So, okay, here we are. Current match frame, input buffer len. Yes, these are all things that we need. Allocate the new snapshot. Why do we have to do a knit though? I feel like we should be able to just, yeah, this is what we want to see. This is exactly what we want to see. Is it? Hold on. Yeah. Okay. Small knit. Why do tapes.snapshot.init at all? Is that where? That maybe is where. Where we allocate the memory? Is that why? Yes. It's where we allocate the memory. That makes sense. Yeah, so we do actually want to call that. Okay, that makes sense. And then Tape snapshot.info buffer len. Yes. If we have an input buffer. Perfect. Okay, that's not bad at all. Yes, we do want to do this. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Alright. Now it's going to run all the tests. And I guess we could see whether it works at all in real life. Let's find out. Dink, dink. Waiting for a pull net. Okay, jump. Jump around. Okay. Should be 2 to 1. Save the tape. There's the tape. Then we go here. Tape load. It's this one, annoyingly. Why? Why would this come after the other one? Okay, whatever. No, does not want to start the game at all. Let's see if that's a problem on main right after this. Okay, great. So now this should be good. We just reviewed all of this. What's this part? Oh yeah, this is the fucking backwards compatibility thing. Let's kill that. Since we don't care about where was that? Let's see. That is better equals okay, let's just ask the LLM instead of guessing. We don't care about backwards compatibility. Privy if blocks. Let's put a little thing around that. Are these blocks actually for v3 versus v2? Or are they for remote versus local as well? It's totally safe to panic if we get a v2 tape and not have defensive programming guards for previous protocols, since this is a pre-release library. Definitely a problem that's not. Let's see if it's recording anything on this branch. That'd be good to see. So we're gonna hit record, run around, run a local game, make it, let's say 1 to 2, 2 to 2. Okay, we pause it, save it, local game, and there's our little tape loader. Bring it in here. Okay. Okay, so that works fine. Great, so it's just network tapes that aren't recording, which makes sense because we're working on network tape stuff. This is kind of like the final part, going back to what I was talking about, you know, how long each step takes. Basically, the more human stuff is required, the longer it takes. So its first pass was like 20 minutes. Now it's like, you know, maybe 1 hour, code review. And then because of the automated tests, we're not going to end up in a place where like everything's fucked. But then there's like, if you need to do like real QA, that takes a while to trace back what's happening because the LLM can't actually see your browser, or like there's too much data frame by frame for it to deal with. Okay. But buffer len means single player, but load tapes. Session case should always be greater than 0. Let me clean it up. Yep. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Now it's going to run the tests. Great. Yeah, let's commit this for sure. Okay. Commit. Oops. Yeah, commit this. Now we gotta debug why it doesn't work in a real world scenario. And we'll probably do it in the same session since it has all the context. Or actually, I should check on main. If it's broken on main, I think we should start a new session. Should I get back to drawing my brick? I'll draw my brick a little bit. Here we go. Tink, tink, tink. That's probably 3. 3. Tink. Tink. Oh, it's like right in the middle of the top one. That's nice. Then one of these. And then, oh, they're just like alternating. Yeah. I guess that's the shape of it. Are they all, they're always 2? Or are these ones 3? These ones are 3. So it's like this. Wow. So simple. That's how you make a tiling brick, I guess. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's PR this. Then we'll go over to main. We'll see if some earlier bullshit that I did broke the network tapes, and if they did, let's just PR this. PR this. Alright. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing. Oh no. Why would you? Oh, nice. Because this is not black. Brush. Okay. Probably gonna end the stream in 15 minutes. This is great. I hit my main goal of doing a single stream this week. Gonna be doing the next one from the Comfort Inn. next to Pija Palace, where I will be on my little code retreat. Tink, 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 tink. Yeah, create the PR. Great. Okay. Okay, PR is up now. Sure. And let's go back over to main. Let's test our rollback situation. Tink, 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 tink. Okay, so this should be recording starting from the beginning of the session. Got 2 points. Pause that one. Save it. Remote tape. Load it. Remote tape. .bloop. And we play. And nothing. Okay, great. So let's actually fix that on main. Let's merge the PR, then we'll fix it on main. Yeah. Squish, squash. Nice. We did it. We fixed a deep, deep bullshit edge case bug. And now that we're back on main, we're gonna start. So this is what I'm talking about. So I want to be like, bye, thanks. Okay, thanks. Feels so weird, but I can't let go of the need to say thanks. Okay, thanks. Going to start a new session to deal with an end-to-end bug where tapes aren't being recorded. It exists on main, so not related to this work stream. Let me know if you think we should continue here instead. See, why is thinking so long? I should just say, great, yeah. Fresh context will help with the new investigation. Totally. I agree. Thanks, Claude. Okay, hello, Claude. Hello. Pull this in. We are investigating an issue where, even though all integration tests pass, a remote session of Mario is not being replayed successfully. It is stuck on the title screen. I have a tape. I was thinking we could look through, load in the tape data to see if anything is obviously wrong. Curious about other methods of debugging. The issue I'm seeing is that the tape seems to replay with the right duration, but is stuck on the title screen. So perhaps snapshot restore is buggy, or I'm not getting the buggy question mark. Alright. Yeah, and I always start in plan mode. Yeah. Sure. Explore the code base. So even though we just worked on this, this agent has no idea about it. Which is a blessing and a curse. I think long term it's better that way. because it incentivizes you to make a code base that's easy to understand for a new agent, which would also make it easy to understand for new developers. Let's continue filling in our brick. See, in the time that Claude has written like 1,000 lines of code, I've drawn one brick. Okay, we got it. We did it. Where do I save this to? Work, bloop, games, Mario, art, public, sprites. Let's see. We got our brick. Yeah, interesting. Ah, I see. I have it as a file, yeah. Yeah. Sure. Let's start by looking at the tape metadata. Oh, it's a checkbox. Yeah, actually, writing a test, we do want a test for this ultimately, so we can start with a test from the live tape, and then we'll modify the test to recreate the tape's conditions with a minimal repro. That makes sense. So actually, we don't need to... Okay, let me take your recommended approach real quick. Well, let's see. Let's do both of these and let's see what it comes up with. I'm gonna move the tape in the meantime into remote tape into packages, bloop, test, tapes. The offsets don't match the zig struct. That seems like a problem for sure. First plan, we always reject the first plan. Yeah, I guess it's just skipping ahead to the minimal test. Now let's try it. Looks good besides that. Okay, well, it's almost 11, so normally I'll go 9 to 12, but we're in a very confined space currently, so I'm gonna end the stream now, but thanks for being with me, all one of you, and happy birthday to me. All right, peace out.